Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Today we'll take a look at last weekend's annual PBA-sponsored Easter Egg Hunt, complete with a visit from the Easter Bunny. At the East Brunswick Library, residents came out to participate in Maker's Day, where you could learn a new craft, hobby, game, and more. The East Brunswick High School Political Club also held its first Elect Me debate at the library. Stay tuned to hear from possibly our future political leaders. We'll have information on the annual Friends of the Library bargain book sale and a talk by Dr. Michael Nissenblatt on cancer coming up at the East Brunswick Library. So stay with us.
My name's Nicholas Morrow. I'm a patrolman with the East Brunswick Police Department, and every year the PBA gives out a Easter egg hunt as a way to give back to the community. Today we're expecting probably a couple hundred people have the Easter Bunny come, hide all the eggs, and kids are welcome to come free of charge and have fun on Easter and get a little prize and have a good time.
3, 2, 1.
It's a way to give back to the community and help, give community relations. And as a PBA, we love helping out in every way, and this is another way just to bring happiness to our community that we serve.
It was fun. Well, you got the eggs. Yeah, you got to get the eggs, and there was a lot of prizes inside them.
Cool.
I see.
Maybe you could give her the purple bear and you can trade her for the alien.
I already have the alien one. Another one. I got 15. I got 15. I got 15 eggs.
No, every year we do it. I've been running it for the last couple of years, and even before I became a police officer here, the PBA's been doing it for a while now.
For everybody, okay, here you go. Here's the next egg for you.
Okay, let's go.
I just want to thank you for your support and let you know that the PBA and the police department is happy to serve and be part of the community with you guys.
Happy Easter!
Hi, my name is Melissa Hosick, and I welcome you today to New Jersey Maker's Day. It is the second year that libraries and other organizations throughout the state are going to be celebrating maker culture. This is our second year also of participating. Today, we have programs for all ages, from t-shirt painting, 3D printing. Rutgers STEAM Club is actually showing us about dyes.
Hi, my name is Aaron Pickett. I'm the head of youth services here at the library. Today we're here at Maker Day, and we are making our own t-shirts, as you can see, that I'm wearing right now. This is an all ages event, and children and families are able to get their own t-shirts, just like I'm wearing, and painting them however they want to. So it's a great activity for all ages, because really the maker movement isn't just for teens and adults. It really is something that all family members can do together. So this is a great fun activity. We're also doing smoothie making later on this afternoon, and doing snap circuits and makey. We're doing origami, 3D paper engineering, all sorts of fun stuff. So we hope you joined us at Maker Day and had a great day. Thanks for coming.
Okay,
Today we're talking about Rube Goldberg machines, and a Rube Goldberg is actually a very complicated machine that does a very simple task, and it's called the Rube Goldberg out of the name of Rube Goldberg. He was the guy who was a cartoonist who created a lot of these crazy machines that you can still see in his cartoons today.
So this is a 3D printer.
Yeah.
What it does is that it takes a 3D model that can be generated on the computer, and it translates it into the software for the printer actually translates that model into what's called G-code, which is an instruction that this printer follows. So how it prints is that it prints it layer by layer. What we're using is a plastic filament heated to 200 degrees Celsius.
Hi, I'm Will Nickley, and I'm one of the founders of Safety Third Racing. I'm also the director of Safety Third Racing Academy. We're here today at East Brunswick Library at a maker event, and we're here to demonstrate the magical world of FPV drone racing. We've got a really cool presentation. We'll be building and showing off our quads today, and we'll also be racing outside. So everyone here is going to have a chance to see the excitement and get a first-hand look at what it's like to witness an FPV race with these little drones.
As part of New Jersey Makers Day today, we're here in the EB Play Lab, and we've got the green screen set up, so we're doing some demos for children and families, taking some photos and videos in front of the green screen, showing them how it works with chroma key and compositing, and we're sending them on vacations all across the world. We have had people go in front of backgrounds of Paris and Disney World and the Great Wall of China, and it's some cool technology that we're able to share with the residents here in East Brunswick, and kind of teach them a little bit about some of the tricks of TV and video production. And so far we've had a good reception. People have been interested and eager to learn. It's just been a fun day here at the library.
Bread making should not be intimidating. It's easy and fun. Your basic ingredients are just flour, salt, yeast, oil, and some kind of sweetener. I prefer honey. And it's a lot of fun. It's a physical activity, it's a mental activity, and it makes your house smell great, and it's delicious. We've got lots of books about bread making here at the library, and we had a lot of fun today with people of all ages learning the different stages that bread goes through in the bread making process.
Hi, my name is Savita Naik. We are doing here cross-stitch workshop for Baker's Day, and I'm very happy that I'm part of it, and we have participants already working. I am actually here from board of members. We work here to raise funds for the library, and I came to know about this Maker's Day, and I was very thrilled that I can be part of that, and I brought few samples, and we are having fun. Thank you.
So besides having 3D printing and button making, we have the Rutgers STEAM Club talking about glow-in-the-dark dyes and the ecology of New Jersey. We have cross-stitch, arm knitting, bread baking, and there's so many more programs today. I hope that you can stop by and enjoy the maker movement.
Culture has returned. inspire. Discover hope. Experience a divine culture. Shen Yun, coming to NJ Pack, April 29th through May 1st. Visit shenyun.com.
Today, the East Brunswick Political Club is hosting an Elect Me debate. Basically, 5 students are going to be running for president, and they'll be delivering their platforms on stage. The audience, after hearing the students talk about their platforms and then answering questions, is going to vote for their favorite candidate. Our judges will be Senator Thompson, Assemblywoman Pinkin, Councilman Jim Wendell, and Board of Education President Todd Simmons. We are going to have a tremendous amount of fun today, and we hope that the best candidate may win.
And an even smaller tax for small businesses, we can keep our 5% unemployment mark, but fill the pockets of workers with higher sustainable wages. If we implement this new tax plan, our economy will be more attractive for foreign companies to choose us as their home base instead of leaving for cheap foreign markets.
So, how can we improve this immigration situation? In order to do this, we must eliminate federal funding for sanctuary cities, deport criminal illegal aliens, hire 20,000 new Border Patrol agents, and implement an entry-exit visa tracking system and a mandatory E-Verify system.
Barack Obama, we're not a nation that kicks out strivers and dreamers who want to earn their piece of the American dream. We're a nation that finds a way to welcome them. We make them earn it, but we welcome them in as fellow human beings, fellow children of God. As we harness their talents to make
the land of the free and the home of the brave. Our country has become a refuge for thousands of people and has been an upstanding leader since its inception. In order to ensure that we continue along this path and move our nation forward, we must pick the right president for the job, one that shows all the necessary qualities of a strong and able president. I am that candidate. A vote for me is a vote for security, prosperity, and freedom.
According to the IRS, we have 2 types of nonprofits, 501c3s and 501c4s, and I'm here today to address 501c4s. 501c4s can unlimitedly supply campaign funds to super PACs, to candidates. This is not right. This is the reason Bernie Sanders actually has a platform, because he speaks to the American people, because a company cannot buy him out. This is based on the principle of popular sovereignty, based on the principle of equality and democracy. Finally, the last thing I'd like to address is the tax bracket, something that we've all seen unfold within the last couple of years. We've seen in Wall Street people rile over the fact that we have a 1% and a 99%. We've seen in Main Street people camp out in Central Park because they think this is unfair, and that's true, but have we done anything about this?
Can be this champion, then you have to ensure that the American citizens are getting jobs. So what do you plan on doing to ensure that immigrants aren't taking away jobs from Americans and that you can increase accountability in the
Americans don't want to take. So this guest worker program would allow immigrants to come from their nation, work here for a specific period of time, and then go back. And this could be a seasonal visa program where they keep coming back.
I'm Assemblywoman Nancy Pinkin. We were here today for the East Brunswick High School mock debate, and this debate really showed, I think, a demonstration of the talent and the skills and the knowledge that our students in East Brunswick have. They knew so much about world affairs, about the current debate, the presidential debate that's happening. They knew about current issues. They knew about the economy. They were not only able to answer questions in particular and to prepare a speech and a summary, but they were able to take some of the questions and turn them around and switch the debate to other topics when necessary. They really used a good debating process. But the thing that really struck me was that they knew so much about world affairs, so much about the election, and I'm very proud of all the students today. They all did a really impressive job.
I think what was the most apparent in today's debate was how prepared our kids were. They were on topic. They knew a lot about a lot. Each one of the candidates had great questions for each other. They had great answers to our questions. It's clearly something to say about the teachers that they had, and really enjoyed very much listening to them.
I'd like to tell everyone a story. My parents, one works for the state, is a public sector worker. One works for a private company. So I've seen the divide between conservatism, liberalism, how both can be beneficial. And that is why I am running as an independent.
I think it's important for our generation of kids to engage in this conversation, because the issues that we're seeing unfold on television, in real life, are the ones they're going to have to tackle, well, really shortly after they get out of school. They're going to hear about them in college. If they go on to college, they're going to address them in their workplace, if that's what they're going to do right after school. And as they advance in their careers, they're going to have to address these issues head on. They're going to be our future leaders. The 5 folks we heard from today clearly are going to be our future leaders, and it is important that they think about these issues now.
My 3 policies were immigration reform, climate change, and education. And I feel as if these are prevalent topics, and I discussed several solutions to remediate these topics. Such as, for immigration reform, I focused on an E-Verify system. For education, I focused on the reinvigoration of the Common Core. And finally, for climate change, I focused on comprehensive legislation and coming together as a nation. Thank you.
So, in my candidacy, I want to address 3 issues: the economy, specifically the tax system, immigration, and education. So I'm going to quickly go over these 3 sections. So specifically the tax system. The current tax system is intricate and complicated, and you can see this with the 1040 tax system and all the loopholes. So I propose the 999 tax system, previously stated and proposed by the 2012 Republican candidate, Herman King. So essentially this called for a more simplified tax system. It's very easy to comprehend, and it deducts the maximum amount of taxes right off the bat. So this is essentially better because in our current tax system, we either have to hire an accountant to do our taxes or end up paying the maximum amount to the IRS. So with immigration, I believe that we should be getting the best out of the immigrants coming to the country. And we don't want any criminal illegal aliens, meaning that we don't want immigrants who have committed illegal acts in our country. So I proposed entry-exit visas and the mandatory E-Verify system. So that way businesses can determine whether or not this immigrant has committed any illegal actions in the past, and that all immigrants are offered equal opportunity with the entry-exit visa.
Political Club was started last year at the high school. We saw a couple of startling statistics before we started it. We saw that there was only 21% of New Jersey residents expected to vote in the coming election that year, so in the 2015 election. We were shocked, and we decided that we need to educate more students about how to better get involved in their community and in politics. So we started the Political Club. It got approval early this year, and since then we've been having meetings to teach students about politics while having them get more involved in the various parties, hands-on.
The amount of detention centers. And these people are not the 11 or 12 million illegal immigrants.
It's time for the 42nd annual Friends of the Library Bargain Book and Media Sale. Thousands of items for all ages and interests will be for sale at fantastic discounts starting on Monday, April 4th and running through Sunday, April 10th at Center Court of the Brunswick Square Mall on Route 18. The sale will open at 10 a.m. on April 4th and will run during regular mall hours, with a special preview sale from 8 to 9 a.m. on Monday, April 4th for a $25 fee. This much-anticipated event draws thousands of people from all over the state, and all proceeds go to the East Brunswick Public Library. So come and check out the collection of books, movies, CDs, audiobooks, and more at a bargain that can't be beat. There will also be free children's activities on Wednesday, April 6th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. For more information about the sale, or for other events sponsored by the Friends of the Library, please visit the library website at www.ebpl.org or call 732-390-6950. And be sure not to miss the largest book and media sale in Central New Jersey.
Hello, I'm Karen Parry. I'm the Manager of Information Services at the library, and I'm so happy today to be joined by Dr. Michael Nissenblatt, oncologist here in East Brunswick at Regional Cancer Care Associates. Welcome, Dr. Nissenblatt.
Thank you.
And I am so excited about a program that the doctor will be holding at the library on Wednesday, April 6th, entitled, Is Cancer in Your Family? Is Cancer Due to Bad Genes or Bad Luck? What an interesting title, and what an interesting topic. Welcome, Dr. Nissenblatt, and can you please tell us a little bit about your program on Wednesday, April 6th?
Absolutely. You know, there's at this time about 1.7 million cases of cancer in the United States every year, about 600,000 deaths. The data just came out from the American Cancer Society Cancer Journal. And last year, there was an amazing article that was published from Johns Hopkins by Bert Vogelstein and Christian Tamasulo. And the study was entitled, The Cause of Cancer, Is It Bad Luck? And the final analysis was that about 2/3 of cancers seem to be caused by the unpredictable mutation events that take place in genes that can then promote cancer. That led to an enormous controversy. If cancer is bad luck, then what difference does it make whether we smoke or drink? What a difference does it make whether we take care of ourselves with physical exercise and cautious diet? If it's going to happen anyway, it doesn't make any difference. Furthermore, it was felt that only 1/3 of all of the cancers were attributable to genes that we would inherit from mom or dad, or from other mechanisms that we would not have control over. And so the idea was that if cancer was something that was going to be unpredictable and bad luck, we wouldn't do anything. Well, I take exactly the opposite step. I see patients every day who think that their cancer is not controllable, who thinks that their cancer is caused by something that they did to themselves, and therefore they feel a sense of guilt. They feel a sense of hardship. They feel that they've harmed their families. And I tell them that's wrong. No matter whether you were a smoker, a drinker, or had some other process that led to cancer, for example, hepatitis, or parvovirus, or a virus such as HPV, these things that can cause cancers, in which case we can modify our lifestyle. We can modify what we eat and what we drink, and it does make a difference in terms of our futures. There are many genes in our body. There's thought to be about 22,000 of them. Of these, about 125 of them have something to do with cancer. Some of these genes are genes which are gatekeeper genes. A simple mutation in one of these genes can open up a gate and lead to a floodline of other events that lead to cancer. Other genes can then promote the progression of a cancer. We call these driver genes, just like if you're driving a car. But if you're a driver in a car, there can also be passenger genes, genes that just come along for a ride and which don't really cause the cancer or promote the cancer, but are part of life. Well, these genes, some of them are genes that are like stepping on the gas. We call them oncogenes. Others of them are like stepping on the brakes, breaker or suppressor genes. All of these genes can be modified by our lifestyle. All of these genes may be affected by what we do. The plan of this program that I'm going to present is to tell the public that there are things that we can do. We can take charge of our lives, we can modify our lifestyle, and we can reduce the risk of breast cancer, whether it's sporadic or whether it's hereditary. And when it's hereditary, we can be proactive, or I like to use the word proleptic, and do investigations that determine the risks, that determine whether something might be developing already at a very early stage, and then we can interrupt the natural history of their high risk of breast cancer and prevent them from developing breast cancer altogether. By the way, it's important for the public to know that this, in the case of breast cancer 1 and breast cancer 2, that men are also at risk. Men are also at risk for sporadic breast cancer, of whom I see quite frequently. I want the public to know that we can do many things, that guilt is not on the table in this lecture, but being knowledgeable, being informed, being self-armed, can help us be able to take charge of our lives. Never give up. Stopping smoking for 10 or more years reduces our risk for developing lung cancer to the same level as though we were never smokers if we have ceased for 10 years. People get worried about drinking. If it's red wine, not a problem. Inside of red wine are components, something which is called angiotensin, that reduces the risk of developing cancers of all sorts. And so life longevity that we hear from red wine can also be accompanied by reducing the risk of many cancers. The exercise, we're going to talk about strategies for early diagnosis. We're going to talk about who should be tested for the high-risk genes of colon cancer, the high-risk genes for lung cancer, the high-risk genes for breast and ovarian cancer. We're going to talk about strategies for prevention, whether it's sporadic or whether it's hereditary cancers. I want the public to be informed, armed, and with that, we can help together to reduce their risk of breast cancers, their risks of colon cancers, their risks of lung cancers, and many others. And I will take questions from the audience regarding treatment, diagnosis, and any strategy they wish to pursue. I invite the entire public to participate in this groundbreaking East Brunswick RCCA-sponsored program. And I thank East Brunswick Library. I thank Karen Perry for making this possible.
Thank you, Dr. Nissenblatt. We are so happy to sponsor this under our Just for the Health of It initiative, and we are so inspired by your knowledge and enthusiasm. And I welcome all of our residents to please come to Dr. Nissenblatt's program Wednesday, April 6th at 7 o'clock at the library. Thank you, Dr. Nissenblatt.
Thank you.